Hey all, Hipper here. Today I am checking out the actual Hipper, and I of course am using an Agile build on this ship. And after the Assure Lane Baltimore commander came out, an Agile build on these German cruisers is much more viable. They're not the most agile cruisers, but they're really good now. Not too fast, but the rudder is great. So I have the improved turret rotation on this ship, and rudder and rudder. And in the last slot I have reload. I tend to switch back and forth between rotation and accuracy in the first slot though, so pick the one you're most comfortable with. So here we have 2.4 second rudder and just about 38 knots. The speed is not fantastic, but the rudder is good. 2.4 is pretty good. It's only 0.2 less than a Martel, and it's like I said, with Assure Lane Baltimore, like a really high level Assure Lane Baltimore commander as an inspiration, these cruisers go from average agile cruisers to good agile cruisers. So we're heading in here perpendicular to the cap, and we are pretty much just looking for broadsides. And we have AP loaded because this is almost exclusively an armor piercing cruiser. You will get the best results by using AP on this thing, and especially against broadsides. For example, here we have a Chambard at nearly 15 kilometers range. So let's line up a nice shot at the deck here. And as you know, I have no buffs to the AP at all with this ship. This is an agile build. And yet, we citadel the guy. And this is just why these German cruisers are so powerful, especially in games where people show you broadside. And if people don't show you broadside, well, you have to set those situations up, and that's why you need an agile cruiser. So a normal cruiser build would probably set up shop behind this island here and shoot across the island while staying unspotted. But in an agile cruiser, we do not do that. A big part of your job as an agile cruiser is to tank shells, and that's exactly what I'm planning to do here. I'm going to push this Helena away, and then I'm hoping to torp the battleship. But the problem with Hippo is those very short-range torpedoes. And that's why Prince Eugen is such a better ship. Because you get another 2 kilometers. Had I been in Eugen here, I would have been able to torp that battleship easily. But because I only have 6 kilometers, I'm missing out on a lot of damage here. And I would have been able to send a few at that Bismarck as well. I'm just less than a kilometer short, and that happens a lot. I mean, Hipper's torps are really only for like close quarter self-defense, and it's a bit of a shame that it's so outclassed by Eugen. There we got a very nice citadel again at 15 kilometers range on a cruiser this time, so not that special, but like the AP on Hipper and Eugen, that's just very dangerous, especially if you can surprise someone and get a shot at their broadside. And an Eugen with reload booster and like free access to a broadside, it is a force to be reckoned with. So is Hipper, but of course it cannot pump out the damage as fast as Eugen can. So here we're using the agile build to get into a better position and at the same time avoiding whatever the enemy throws at us. Now in an agile cruiser you have to keep an eye on the minimap, and as you can see here, as we're just avoiding the salvo here as well, very nicely done there, at actually very low speed. Anyway, as you can see, it looks like the Reds are gathering to start pushing around the corner of this island here. And I'm going to stop that party from happening. So I'm pretty much going to do exactly what I did before. I'll do another circle, and then I'm hoping I'll be able to get that annoying kid there. But unfortunately, I'm spotted before I get out, and I also managed to ground myself, so I just a little bit too slow here. And this is where extra speed would be really nice on these cruisers here. A situation like this, I just need a few extra knots to be able to whack this kid here, but unfortunately that's not the way it's going to be today. He did get off torps, but in an agile build, that's not really a problem. We just wait till the torp is really close, and then we just swing the back end around. And at the same time, we are trying to citadel this Chapayev here. Now in this salvo here, I do get one citadel, but I really should have got a lot more than that. A bit unfair, I think. I got 5 penetrations, but only 1 citadel. I mean, that guy should have been dead. So someone else gets that kill. So that's pretty much it for this enemy team's try to flank us, because they have been stopped in their tracks now, and for the first time ever I've got the chance to go up against the Siegfried in Hipper. And that's why I'm being a little bit experimentative here and trying to shoot it in different spots, because I want to see where I get the best result. And I must be kind of a new guy here, because he's just sitting broadside onto me. But I'm having trouble with his turtle back here, and it's just unfortunate. So we'll have to do a little bit more practice on Siegfrieds, I guess. And finally here I can actually get to use my torps. And it doesn't happen very often. So here I'm trying to hit him through the bow. We do get penetration, but it's not very impressive. And the shell speed on this thing is just very, very bad. If you saw that, he's only less than 8 kilometers away, and by the time he fires, I can easily move in what is not even a very agile. Like, it's not one of the agile cruisers like Atago or Martel would have been able to move even faster. So again, we're seeing if we can able to penetrate his sides, or where this thing should be shot at, and not much luck so far. It seems very very tough when facing cruiser guns. Bit lucky there, getting the last hit in. Now, a nice thing about actually sailing Hipper is that you're not considered much of a threat by the enemy team. Like, it happens a lot that people just aim at you, and then they think, oh, it's just a Hipper, and then they find a different target. It's not like when you're in a Targo, and as soon as you're spotted, you will be targeted by 5 or 6 ships. See, here in Hipper I'm spotted, but like, I know there's only 3 ships left, but had this been an Targo, they would probably all 3 of them be targeting me. So use this kind of underdog image here on Hipper to your advantage, because, like I said, people tend to find a different target, and if you let an Hipper get in close, that's a mistake. Just missed out on that one there. I missed out on quite a few kills in this game here, but so be it. Alright, so the enemy is totally outnumbered now, so we're going to head in for the cap now. I'm just contemplating right now if I should head for my base or the enemy base. I'm thinking that perhaps the enemy destroyer could be on its way to our base, so I don't want to leave it undefended. But there is another cruiser there. So in a perfect world, that guy would stay there and protect the base. So I decide, okay, I'll head down to the enemy base. And of course, when you play solo World of Warships Legends, a perfect world never exists. So if you want something done, you have to do it yourself. So here I'm actually changing my mind. I am going to go back and guard our base until I realize that the destroyer is all the way down at the base. And then I decide, okay, there's no point obviously guiding our base, because nobody's ever going to make it up there. So it's better to head down towards the base. And that's of course because had I not seen that destroyer there in any other game, I'm sure he would have been heading to our base, and if I went to the red base, everybody else at our base would follow, and that's just the way it is when you play solo. Like like I said, if you want it done, you have to do it yourself. So just gonna do a quick check here to see what we have left, and we have an Iowa with no kills, so that means he is most likely a back of the map sniper guy, and yeah, there he is. So and also in this game, I have been using exclusively armor-piercing shells until now, and I would have been using armor-piercings again, except this Iowa here is very angled, and HE will be better in this very specific circumstance here. And as soon as I get a little bit more of a broadside, I'm going to switch back to AP. So I had nearly 100 hits with AP, and I'm probably going to shoot, I don't know, 3 or 4 salvos of HE and call it a day, and we'll go back to AP as soon as this guy here shows a little bit more of his delicious broadside. Nice enough to get a fire. Now this Iowa is obviously handicapped by the fact that his destroyer is hiding behind him, which is, well, unfathomable in this situation here. I mean, if he doesn't save, or at least help this Iowa here, he is going to lose the game. So what's the point hiding down there in the back? I mean, this is the same guy I was trying to surprise around the island earlier, where he unfortunately got away. And yeah, I'm quite looking forward to sinking that destroyer, honestly. Now, of course, I'm back to AP here, and I'm just hoping to get in the killing blow here. And the destroyer is smoking the battleship up, which is a waste of smoke and waste of time and waste of effort, and it doesn't make any sense. So now I really want to sink this destroyer. And luckily the battleship is gone now, so I just have the destroyer to contend with. So I'm going to head in, because this guy irks me, so I want to end him. Now always remember, the sonar on Hipper is really powerful. It's much better than on the normal cruisers, except for the British ones. So yeah, well, obviously make sure you use it to its full effect, especially in a situation like this where you're not really sure where the destroyer is, so kind of going to need its torps to locate it. Except if it starts shooting out of nowhere like this. And this destroyer has decided to play the kiting game with an Agile cruiser. And that's fine, 2 of us can play that game. And obviously Kit has a much higher rate of fire than Hipper does, but Hipper is way more accurate. And the shell flight time on Kit is just ridiculous. He'd have to be a lot closer than he is now to make any dent in me. And with an Agile cruiser, you can simply just zigzag around here, predict where he's going to shoot next, and then once he smartens up, then use the speed to slow down and turn even sharper, so it throws him off for the next few salvos. And at the same time, we just keep shooting at him. Here we slow down just to avoid those 2 there, and that means we'll also avoid the next ones easily. And if we count HP, then I started at 120, and I had about 12,000 HP. So as you can see, I am already ahead here in this game of kiting here. And if you didn't have an Agile cruiser, you would have taken the grunt of this and probably been set on fire multiple times and just been in a pretty bad situation. But with an Agile build, you can just troll this guy completely. And exactly the same with Cleveland's and Atlantis, and to a certain extent Baltimore's as well. Wichita, not so much. So I'm going to head out of the cap now. I want to get this guy, and there's still people in there capping, so there's no need for me in there. I'm just going to reset the cap all the time by getting hit by this kit. So unfortunately we're going to run out of time now, but had I had enough time for just one more salvo, I would have gotten my wish and taken care of this kid here. Fortunately, I don't have the last 10 seconds I need, which is a shame because he is starting to suicide run here, and that would have been a lot of fun to torp him, but unfortunately not the way it's going to go. But I do get a dreadnought for it and a Confederate. So this is what an Agile cruiser is all about. As you can see, we don't have many kills, only one. But we have supported the team entirely through the whole fight and tanked shells and done everything right. And we are obviously number one here. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you out there.